In Module 3, we're going to look at where self-harm happens. You'll be surprised how many different places you will find where self-harm will actually happen. Yeah? Now, for the first one, we're going to look at institutional self-harm. These are institutions that you obviously know exist, but did you know, and I mean did you know, self-harm happened in these places? As we go through, you will understand that basically put, self-harm is not more or less avoided anywhere, really. I mean, it's like, if you can turn around and say one thing, is that self-harm will happen everywhere. As we go through this and other modules, and or the next module on prescription drugs and things like that, and therapies and so on and so forth, you will see that these institutional self-harmers come under a lot of categories. And also, once they leave the institution, they also self-harm in other places you probably wouldn't even think of. So let's begin. Prisons. Here is a list of prison research. The prison population is by far the most prevalent place to find self-harm. Now you wouldn't think, a prison? What? A correctional institution? Serious? Can't be. In actual fact, it's true. This is not just juvenile self-harm, this is also adult self-harm. And the research here, quoted here, is very, very relevant for this purpose. And they go into some, deep detail. This is deliberate self-harm among adults in prison. That's adults. So if we think for 1 minute that self-harm, as obviously is always put out there, 1 in 4 girls, 1 in 10 boys, in the United Kingdom, self-harm, we are taking away from the fact that there are adults who deliberately self-harm in prisons. It's quite surprising, really. I mean, some of them they turn around and say self-loathing. And you think, well, self-loathing, what? Beyond observation, self-harm in prisons. So what can we do beyond the observation with the self-harm within these prisons? It's a very interesting article. There's hundreds and hundreds of articles you can see about this, about self-harm in prisons. If you're not a professional and you wish to read any of these, you can go onto Google Scholar. On Google Scholar, you have what they now have what they call free access to certain journal articles, not all. Each article is obviously written by a proper professional. They will give you more information about self-harm than you will ever know before. Sometimes they give you a book to read. This is what you should do. This is what a parent should do. This is what a self-harmer should do. That is not enough. You will not learn enough about self-harm from just reading silly little pamphlets. Some of the pamphlets are only about 4 or 5 pages long. And I'm like, whew. I recently took a course on self-harm and it took me 28 minutes and 33 seconds to complete the course. That's 28 minutes. That to me, I think, is not enough information to help you help others who self-harm. Self-harmers in prisons will go to great lengths to stay out of the general population of prisons. So they will go and prefer to be in the hospital wing. So they will do anything they possibly can to be away from other people. Once they're in the medical wing, and this is what you have to understand, once they've already made it to the medical wing, they will try and stay there. What does this mean? That means they will continue to try and break legs, use ligatures to cut and wear away the skin and everything else, using plastic knives and forks. You'd be surprised at what you can do with a plastic knife and a fork. If you can do it, you will do it. And they will go to great lengths to do it. And they will do it. And they will continue to do it. So you imagine they've got broken bones, scalded themselves and everything else. They've been put in them, obviously, the hospital wing and basically got to be looked after. This puts a lot of resources away from where they could be used everywhere else. But I suggest that what we should be doing with people from prisons is to actually turn round and actually ask these people before they enter the prison, are you likely to self-harm? Because if we can actually see these people before they come into the prison population, we can then say, okay, fair enough, we can separate you from everyone else, we can put you in a completely different wing, and basically, we can actually look after your needs and everything else. So when you spend your time here, you are going to actually be looked after properly. The likelihood is that once that person comes out of prison and they realise that they've been helped, probably for the first time in their life, so then you will see that they will probably be more receptive for other help. Housing, clothing, trying to find a job, holding down a job, so on and so forth. So basically, these self-harmers are very, very clever. They will deliberately go out of their way to stay out of the prison population. Now, this is both for male and female prisoners, not just male. Residential institutions. Now, when we say residential institutions, the first thing that pops up in mind is children's homes, where they're looked after. Care homes? No, surely not. Care homes? Yes, care homes. I'm afraid to say it, but there's more research now into care homes and everything else that you would not believe it. And self-harm, is likely associated with self-harm. It is increasingly being found that children institutionalised are 75% more likely to self-harm than their non-care peers. I should change the slide and we'll now upload it for you. I'll put down never mind. Elderly persons also self-harm. Triggers are, if you look, the point of this is that as a professional, it would be wrong to assume that residential environments cannot be stressors to your self-harm. If you remember in one of the other lectures I was talking about an 82-year-old man who'd been self-harming since he was 7. Now obviously, if he's been doing it all that long, and obviously, although he's looked after by his family, if he was in a residential situation, this would exacerbate the stresses that he's already got. So not only would he self-harm because there's no one around that he knows, they would also self-harm because he's in a residential situation where he's not with his family. This is information on residential institutions. These are for youth. And these are some of the articles for residential care of children. Once again, if you go onto Google Scholar and you put in residential institutions, self-harm, children, adolescents, or whatever. One good article here is young people's and carers' perspectives on the mental health needs of looked after children, looked after adolescents. It's looked after adolescents as well. We will come on to that when we come on to homes as well. But this is residential care, institutional residential care. This is residential institutions for the elderly. You will notice that, among older community residing home care clients in Ontario, Canada. So it's not just self-harm that affects just the UK, it affects the entire world. I've got articles from Australia, I've got articles from China, I've got articles from Persia. Yes, it is so massive now that there's scholars all over the world trying to come to understand what on earth is going on. Why are these people self-harming in places where they're supposed to be cared for? You can imagine if you went into one of these institutions and you went, I'm going to be cared for the rest of my days. But this would indicate that some of these people are still not receiving the care sufficiently enough to stop them from self-harming once they reach later life, which to me is quite staggering. Secure units. What? Surely they're there because they've self-harmed, they're going to self-harm themselves, they have suicidal tendencies, they have mental health problems. Surely they can't be self-harmed. I'm afraid to say they are. You may think that secure units would not be a part of institutional self-harm. Think again. Research suggests that amongst especially the female population in secure units for mental health patients, self-harm happens. So what is it we're not doing for these female self-harmers when we take them out of society and put them into secure units? Now this isn't just women, this is young girls. I read a case the other week, which probably shocked you, of a 7-year-old who was taken out of the system and put into a secure unit. That's 7. For her own safety. I don't think that's safe enough, because if the main female population are still in secure units self-harming, how are you stopping their self-harm? I don't think it's right, but that's me, personally. Increasingly, research would suggest that no matter where you are, self-harm will happen. And as we go through this module in the next so many weeks, you will find out that basically, when I say self-harm will happen just anywhere, it will happen anywhere. The next slide says there are references for secure units and self-harm. Thanks very much for listening.